Hello, hello, my friends. It is Valerie from Sure Scraps a Lot, and I am here on July 7th for your Monday motivation. And last Monday, I promised that we would be doing something very different for the next few weeks. And as promised, this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be working on different ways to create paper flowers. So I want to start out with probably the simplest, fastest, easiest way is starting with your Cricut. And that's what you're seeing here on the screen right now. I am in Design Space at the moment, and I chose one type of 3D flower that I'm going to show you how to create. They're very simple. They don't take very long, not a lot of tools. You don't need a lot of stuff to get started. So first of all, I just wanted to show you a couple of things. So to find these flowers, you're going to go to images on the left menu here and click on that. And you'll see here I've typed in 3D flowers. And this is like there's a lot. The ones you want for this particular technique, though, are the ones that look sort of like a snake. All right, they're twirly like this. All right, not these ones. These ones are layered. They're not the same technique. All right, but there is no end to the ones that you can pick. All right, so this one is very interesting to look at when it's done. Very interesting. And this one is very pretty too. It's got a wider petal on it. The one I'm going to be working with this evening, though, is this one right here, the scallops. It's nice and even, and it's very symmetrical, so it's easier to work with. One thing I would caution you when you're first beginning is when you come across a few, just a minute, I'm going to get rid of this and this one. Something like this one. All right, when you see that it's got a much narrower width here, you can see how wide this one is. These are a little trickier to work with. I mean, they're not hard. They're just a little trickier, take a little bit more patience. I would not recommend starting with one like this. I would pick one that's got a thicker width right here. You can see where my cursor is. Okay, another really good one would be this one, because you can see it's very thick here. And if you bring it out to 6 inches, right, you can see just how thick that is. All right, and so another one that would be a little tricky if you're starting out, well, it's tricky no matter what, but especially if you're just starting out on this 3D flower making mode, is one like this. You can see how narrow that strip is right there. All right, so these take a little bit more to get them even and nicely spaced out and everything. So I would leave these for now until you've made a few, you're feeling a little more confident, and then give those a try. All right, so that is where you find them on the Cricut. Now, the next question that you would be asking yourself is, okay, well, I want to make a flower that's about 1.5 inches in diameter. So, well, how big do I have to make this? Well, there is a lady, I don't know what her last name is, but she, all she does is Cricut. Jennifer Maker. I'm going to leave these charts in the community group. All right. I'm also going to leave you a link to her website, because if you want to know anything about Cricut, this is the lady to ask, because she's amazing. So this is a chart that she has on her website, and it, just want to make it a bit bigger here so you can see it better. All right, so it's showing you, and it's not perfect comparing every single type of flower, but it's pretty close. So if you want a flower that is 3 inches in diameter across the widest part, then you need to make an 11-inch cut. All right, if you want a flower that's 1.5 inches across, then you want a 6-inch cut. All right, so that would be what I did here. I've got a 6-inch cut. All right, and I've got this cut and ready to go for us. But I wanted to show you another one that she has. Okay, and this gives you a rough idea. I want to look closer at how these look when they're finished. Okay, here's the one I was telling you that looks pretty interesting. This is it right here. So you can see on the chart how they're going to look when they're done. Okay, so we've taken a very simple one. That's this one. And that's how it's going to look. Now, if you want to know about these codes, you can ask me later. I don't want to talk about them tonight because you really don't need to worry about them that much. Okay. The other thing that I should warn you of is that not all of these are free. So you will have to pay for some of them, or if you have access, then you're good to go. All right. So that is, I think, everything that I want to. Oh, the other thing I wanted to tell you was it's better if you use a solid core cardstock. All right. Try not to use a white core. It just doesn't have the same effect when you're done. That's all I can say. All right. So I'm going to stop my share. And I'm going to show you a few things. Now, first of all, the tools you need. You're going to need something like this, okay? And this is, it's for quilling, actually. Can you see that it's got a split right there? All right. I like this one better than my quilling tools, though, because it's bigger. It's got a bigger opening, so it can accommodate thicker cardstock, and it's got a bigger barrel. It's a bigger diameter this way. All right, and that really comes in handy. Okay, the other thing you're going to need is some hot glue, a hot glue gun. Now you can use, here's mine right here. You can use a liquid glue. The only problem with liquid glue is it takes forever to dry. So you have to sit there and hold it. All right, because there's pressure for it to unwind until it's completely dried. So hot glue is really the way to go. And something to keep your fingers from getting burned. These are the little Tailored Expression mittens. Okay, they're so cute, aren't they? Okay, so first of all, I want to show you, this is one that I made this afternoon. And this is one that it has a 2-inch diameter. Okay, so this was I think it was an 8-inch cut. All right. Now, I didn't do a very good job of gluing it. I was watching something on the screen while I was doing it. I didn't realize I'd slipped. But it's still holding. All right. It's still holding together. So that's very pretty. Now, you can use this very same tool if you want. After you've got it put together, you just slide this over and then just curl it back. Now, this is a little heavier cardstock. I'm trying to use up some of my old stuff. So, oh, it's not holding now, the glue, I mean. Okay, but you can see how I just slide that tip in and just roll it back. All right, so if you're not using a heavier a heavier cardstock, if you're using like a 65 to 80 pound, which is what is really the best, then it won't fold like that. It'll just bend over nicely and you get a really nice look there. Okay, so here is the one that I showed you on the screen. Okay, this is how it looks after it's been rolled. Okay, it has not been glued yet. Okay, and you can see that it's a nice little spiral there. Now, you'll notice that it is not super tight. It's not super tightly rolled. It was when I started, okay, but I am going to show you how this whole thing comes together. All right, so this is how it looks. Now, it's got a mind of its own. All right, it's very pretty. Now, also, before you assemble these, if you want, you could do a little bit of inking along the edge. But I would recommend, if you're going to do that, that you ink both sides of the petals, all right, because you'll be able to see them both. Great. So let's get down to work here. So here it is. I've got it all cut out, ready to go. Here is my tool. And I just want to come in a little bit more So you can see a little bit better what I'm doing. Now this is the base right here in the center. You start on the outside end, and it doesn't matter which way you roll. It comes out pretty much the same. All right, so I'm just sliding the cardstock into that slit there. And then I'm just going to start to roll it. Now, as I'm rolling it, my goal is to keep this edge right here as straight as I can. And if it goes off kilter a little bit, that's okay. You can still straighten it up. Okay, and you just want to just keep rolling and rolling. Okay, keeping it as straight as you can along the bottom edge here. You can see I'm trying to keep it nice and straight. Okay, and I'm just going to keep rolling to get to the end. And I just wanted to remind you while I'm doing this that my Sure Scraps a Lot Paper Crafting Community Facebook group is open now for anyone and everyone that is interested in paper crafting. If you want to get the skinny on lots of different things, if you want to have fun, if you want to share, if you want to participate in challenges, be inspired in a smaller setting, then that's the place for you to go. All you have to do is look up Sure Scraps, or it's SSAL actually, Paper Crafting Community. Okay, and I'm based in Calgary, and I've just been rearranging things and just changing some things out. And so up till now, as a carryover from Close to My Heart, I have kept the group dedicated to the ladies that were in my premium program. But that is going to change starting now. All right, and anybody who is interested, all right, all you have to do is ask, and it shall be done. So all you have to do is just ask to join the group. All right, so I'm almost at the end here. Okay, it's pretty tightly wound, you can see. Little premature, but I was almost at the end. Okay, so then I just slid it off the end. Okay, now we don't need it to be that tightly wound. What we're aiming for is for this part across here to roughly fit that circle that's going to be the base. All right, now sometimes it doesn't work out the way you want it to, but we roughly want it to look like that. Okay, and you'll get a better view of that once I have it glued together. All right, so what we're going to do here. Okay, and this is definitely not a time when less is more. Oh, yet. Okay, you want more is more. Okay, so you're going to put a lot of glue on here. And you'll notice that I'm putting it on the bottom edges rather than on the base. That may not even be enough. We'll go with that for now. Okay, I'm just wrapping it up a little bit again. Oh, and now I needed those silicone fingers. So you can see how easy it is to burn yourself because you have to get in there right away. Get that glued in. Okay, and then just turn it over, give it a little push on the center to make sure that all of the edges are embedded in that glue. It's still hot. Alrighty. And there you have it. Okay, there's a 1.5 inch. Okay, now this one that I made earlier, okay, is a 2 inch. So you can see how it's a little wider. This one's not glued, so it's looser. However, we can change that. All right, I'm just going to pull this tighter and we'll glue this together. So next week, I'm going to continue with Cricut flowers. And I'm going to show you a different one that's available. It's more of a layering type. And then the week after that, I want to move over to die cuts. All right, because there are several different types of die cuts that that are available, have been available in the past. A lot of mine are old. This one's quite a bit looser, but I think we could still make it happen. Just remember, lots of glue. Okay, and once I get this side done, then I'll go back and do the other side. And then I'm just going to turn it over, make sure all those edges are embedded right into the glue. I have a dog down here now. Hopefully she doesn't see anybody walking 3 blocks from here. Alrighty. Okay, so I'm just going to get a little bit more on this side. I don't use my gun very much anymore. I bought one of those little pots. And for most of what I use the hot glue for, they work really, really well. Okay, so then it's just a matter of, if you want to frill these out a little bit, you can. You could do what I was suggesting with that bigger flower. You could just take the edge of the quilling tool and just roll these over. And they're just ever so pretty. Okay, and then what I did was I brought, because I don't want you to have to sit here and watch me curl all of those. So I brought you some finished ones to look at. So here's one that was done in the roll, that technique, the roll technique. Here's another one. Okay, and here's another one. So pretty, right? So these I inked, and then I gave them just a little touch of clear shimmer brush. All right, so these ones are the type that I want to show you next week. These are the ones that are more, oops, sorry, are more of a layering technique. All right, so I'm going to turn that around. I'm going to move this back so you can see the whole thing. All right, that is it for your Monday motivation. I hope you enjoy this. I hope you give it a try. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. And don't forget to like this video and share it with your friends. Oh, and I forgot one important thing. I wanted to tell you for the Summer Bingo Challenge that my favorite flower color is yellow. All right, that's it. Over and out. Be talking to you very, very soon.